Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still stuck between support and resistance levels. We're going to take a look at that now. Today, volatility is expected. The CPI figures are going to be released. Generally pretty meaningless for prices, but they can generate short-term fluctuations. And I think a move is due anyway in the crypto sector. And also stock market is at a key pivot, key possible turning point, and therefore CPI could be the trigger, not the fundamental reason, but like a trigger, like a catalyst for a bigger move, and it's going to be very interesting. So normally, obviously, generally it's pretty meaningless. It typically doesn't change the underlying trend, but it typically can lead to the completion of certain structures, roadmaps, in a quick fashion. Because we seem to be stuck in the crypto sector, right? We seem to be stuck. Markets are just moving sideways. You can see here there's a daily chart for Bitcoin. The price dipped into the support region. This is pretty normal for a correction, this price action. It is, you could argue, that we're even moving in a corrective price channel. This is not perfectly well defined, but it is a price channel with definitely enough touch points. And in this price channel, and you can draw that as a descending wedge or just a channel, this would typically lead to trend continuation to the upside. Now, not always, and also within this, as you can see, there is space to the downside. What is much more important than channels or trend lines, that's the Fibonacci support zone. It's between 55.4K pretty much and 50.8K. They are the next support levels at least. Okay, we're already in the support zone on the daily time frame here. And as long as we're holding 50.7K, 50.8, further upside trend continuation into the 90K region is expected. But obviously, this correction has now been ongoing for a couple of months. It's about time it finishes. I think once we get up there, there'll be the next wave 4. So it's not going to get easier, in my opinion, especially because this wave 4 will be a larger wave degree. So prepare for that mentally. We're already in the late innings of this bull market for Bitcoin, as mentioned in previous updates. There is further upside expected, but this is typically where choppy price action is following. So that's something to be aware of. Looking at the shorter time frame, you can see here this correction. The key support level is 58,360. Okay, that's really the key support that distinguishes between a short-term bullish and short-term bearish scenario. I did post that yesterday as well on X, on Twitter. If you're not following us there, feel free to check it out. There are additional updates here as well. You can find the link to our new WhatsApp channel as well. Over 1,000 people joined that already. Thank you very much. There are some additional updates there. And here I posted yesterday the critical levels on X. Just make sure that you follow the account only with the check mark, with the blue check mark, because there are impersonators coming up. What I pointed out here is that I'm monitoring the 58,360 level. That's really the line in the sand, the key support level. And what we're doing, we're watching the current price range, and we want to see if the price can form any new attempts of a 5-wave structure to the upside. Obviously, this rally from the Friday low was not a 5-wave move. And if we don't see 5 waves up, we can't really say that we've bottomed, at least not locally here. Important is to recognize that a break below 58,360 will likely send us into the region here, roughly roundabout between 54 and 55K. More precisely here, 53.8K to 55.4K. Yeah, this yellow box, I explained that in yesterday's video as well. So yeah, feel free to follow us there for additional updates. After that update, though, I made a slight adjustment only to the wave count, though, not to the support and resistance levels, and therefore it's not so important. The only change I've made is obviously short-term bearish count only applies if we really break below 58,360. Now, it does apply now because you need to consider it, but it is that line in the sand that needs to break to confirm it. Until then, the yellow count is being tested first. And the yellow count has support between 60,860 and 58,360. We had a 5-wave move up in the yellow count. The larger degree 4th wave correction that started in March could already have completed here around the 1st of May. And the only change I've made here late yesterday, which I didn't post on Twitter, not yet at least, is that this move down was not an A wave, but most likely a wave W. the move up was not a B wave, but most likely an X wave. And then the move down, because it's a 3-wave move as it seems, or at least it looks very corrective, could have been an A wave within a Y wave. Okay, so we're working on an ABC structure here, so that the ABC is not the entire correction, but just within the Y wave. Yeah, that's sort of my perspective. But again, that's just micro counting. It's not so relevant because the support area doesn't change, but it explains better how the yellow count could, let's say, survive. Yeah, it could survive because if this here was a 1-2 setup of wave C, then we would struggle to hold support, but it could work out as a WXY structure. And so yeah, 58,360. And obviously, I posted yesterday that I'm expecting a small B wave rally. So that's what we're seeing right now. It could obviously go higher. If it breaks above the Monday high, then I would first be looking for an X wave. Just because this structure is corrective, it might just lead to a more extended corrective structure. We'll see how that unfolds. The rally initially here from the 1st of May was a 5-wave move. So generally it is possible that the yellow count will drive the price to higher prices. That can happen whenever we dip into the support region. We're watching for a reversal. That happened again. At the moment, I have no reliable micro, let's say, bottoming structure. But for now, the yellow count is here. This is the yellow microstructure that I'm following as an ABC structure. It's only valid as long as we stay below the Monday high. Okay. Of course, we could go higher more directly because support is holding. Again, against 58,360, the focus can be on higher. Below 58,360, the market tells us we are likely going to target the yellow box. Is the yellow count already now in control? Maybe, but for me, not possible to confirm. Okay, so this is the box. This is more important, as I said before. The microstructure doesn't matter so much. What matters are the levels. And if you entered, for example, in the orange micro support area, you're already in profit. The support areas are what generates reactions. The micro patterns only highlight ideal roadmaps, but they are not very meaningful on smallest time frames. So what matters more than the microstructures, well, that's the Fibonacci area, okay, the support area. And because they tell us when sentiment shifts, you know, the microstructures, especially within the WXY, are so not so meaningful. Yeah, that's my update about Bitcoin. Brace yourselves for some volatility today. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.